Now, don't we always say, who is the Google of this? Who is the Google of education? Who is the Google of healthcare? Well, Lemonade is probably the closest you get to say it's the Google of the insurance industry. It's an innovative concept. It's an Israeli-born company with now US present. And the co-founder, Daniel Schreiber, please come on stage. I think you're officially a unicorn now, right? I mean, it's always, is that right?
It's never official.
No, not official?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here in Berlin.
Fabulous. Good afternoon, everybody. So Lemonade is a new kind of insurance company, founded from the ground up, built on top of artificial intelligence and behavioral economics. But before I dive into Lemonade and tell you the Lemonade story, I'd like to kick off with an observation and a prediction. My observation is that insurance is radically different to just about any other market or sector or industry that you can think of. Not only has it been around for thousands of years, but the companies that dominate today are huge. They do 100+ billion euros a year each. By the way, just to give you a sense of the enormity of the industry, they only have a 2 to 3% market share each. And they've been doing this for 100, 200, sometimes 300 years. That's my observation. My prediction is that that's about to change, and that the companies that will thrive most in the insurance sector in the 21st century will be those that were founded in the 21st century. Because there are structural, secular changes that are coming to the industry that will mean that a lot of the things that have enabled these companies to thrive for centuries are going to make it much more challenging. And those built from scratch on a digital substrate will have structural advantages that will manifest ever more powerfully in the years and decades to come. I'll try and substantiate what I'm saying in the next few minutes, but let me start off by telling you about the ailments of insurance. And I start by going back in time to the 1300s, where Francesco is writing a letter from Florence to his wife complaining about insurance companies. And Francesco says, "It is sweet to them to take the monies, but when disaster comes, it is otherwise. Each man draws his rump back and strives not to pay." Now, I confess I don't know exactly what that means, but I don't think he was being complimentary about the insurance space. And it's easy to be dismissive and say, okay, this was 700 years ago, etc. And then you go to the Urban Dictionary, the contemporary crowdsourced dictionary, and you look up the word insurance, and you see that the definition of insurance is a business that involves selling people promises to pay later that are never fulfilled. Channeling Francesco, but in a more contemporary language. And this has been the #1 most voted definition for 11 years in a row. You want to know the pulse of the people and what they think about something? Go to the Urban Dictionary. So we started an insurance company that is fundamentally different, that tries to challenge and change the structure of insurance, the fundamentals. We start off by asking ourselves, why do people so distrust insurance? Why is it that for 700 years people have said, I pay them money, but they never pay me back? And we decided that the core, the root cause, the underlying challenge of insurance is a business model. You pay me, and when you come to make a claim of me, if I don't pay you, you claim 1,000 euros. If I don't pay you those 1,000 euros, I'm 1,000 richer, you're 1,000 poorer, and vice versa. We're fighting over the same coin. And how do you build a lovable, trusting, and trustworthy brand on top of a business model where a company is in conflict with its customers? And it's not lost on the consumers. For 700 years, that's what they've been saying. So we established Lemonade to work differently. With Lemonade, you pay us your premiums, and we take a flat fee. We take 25% of every euro that you pay us, comes to us. Never more, never less. And we've created a structure of reinsurance such that in bad years, if there's too many claims, we still get 25%. The reinsurers pick up those residual claims. And in good years, when there's money left over, we don't keep it. It goes to a charity. It goes to a non-profit of your choosing, you, our customer. That changes everything. Instead of it being a conflicted bilateral relationship between us, we now have a non-profit in the room, and it's a trilateral relationship. Because I don't make money by denying your claims. In fact, I want to pay them as quickly as possible and delight you. And you might think twice before embellishing your claims when you know that cheating and lying doesn't hurt a nameless, faceless behemoth with whom you have a conflicted relationship. It hurts a charity that you selected because you care about them. So the non-profit is part of the relationship and is in the room and keeps us all honest. Once you build that on those foundations, once you've changed the fundamental business model, the incentive structures of insurance, then technology can do amazing things. Then you can automate everything, and you can start paying claims in as little as 3 seconds, which we do all the time. But let me show you, I've got a sped-up version of our app, and we were so proud to have launched not only in the US, but as of this week, we are live in Germany as well. Take a quick look at what it looks like. Can we get volume? With Lemonade, bots do all of the selling of insurance, and in 97% of the time, they're also the ones taking your claim, and in about 1/3 of the times, they handle the entire claim start to finish and make the payment within a matter of seconds. Technology has reached the stage where, thoughtfully applied, using state-of-the-art AI, you get to the point where you outperform humans, where speaking to a human being on the phone isn't a value add, it's a value detractor, but it goes much deeper than that. When you go to an insurance company and you speak to a broker, not only is it a more cumbersome process and you have to speak to a person, you can't do it from your pajamas in the middle of the night, they ask you 20 to 50 questions and they collect 20 to 50 data points. When you chat to Maya, our bot, we ask you about 1/4 of the questions that insurance companies ask you. It's much more seamless. We are now the #1 rated company in the US for insurance in terms of customer satisfaction, with an NPS score of 70, but it has profound data implications. The simplicity of the user experience belies the richness of the data, which has a huge impact on insurance. We collect about 100 times more data than traditional insurance companies. Data is important in every industry, but no industry more so than insurance, where the core business, where the core product is a probability theory. Insurance is all about statistics. And insurance companies talk about loss ratios. They aggregate millions of people and treat them as if they are monolithic, as if they are uniform, because at 20 data points, millions of people look very much alike. Less than 2 years in market, what we're seeing is that under the weight of 100 times magnification that we're getting in our data, what looks like a uniform, monolithic group reveals itself to be made up of dramatically different subgroups. With at first we saw 300% differences in behavior, and now less than 3 years in market, we're already seeing 800% differences within the group. So the power of technology and building an insurance company from scratch on a digital architecture and a contemporary business model runs much deeper than just delighting consumers. It transforms the art and the science of pricing and underwriting risk, which is why I make the projection I make. Insurance companies of the 21st century, those that will thrive the most, are those that were created in the 21st century. Thank you all so much for your attention, and those of you who are residents of Germany, go to lemonade.com and give us a try. We are now live throughout Germany. Thank you.